in September, October, November of last year, instead of saying, here's all these trillions of dollars.
I would have said, what's the fundamental problems here? The fundamental problem is non-disclosure. It's so fraud. So let's have and the rating was not to be trusted. So let's set up a federal financial authority to rate and not rate itself, but to arrange for independent rating and verification and full disclosure on the web of all the securities held by that are being traded in the marketplace.
Yeah, that would be a big thing, just to have transparency.
And transparency, that's step one. Step two is that
stay there, Professor. Professor, we got a break. We'll come back on the other side and get your view and perspective on this. Amazing article out of McClatchy. They got a lot of guts. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones. Infowars.com is our website. Stay with us.
What's so crazy about not starving? To cover yourself and your family in the event of accident or emergency, you may have home, life, auto, dental, and health insurance. But what about food insurance? Water and food are vital to human survival. So what's so crazy about not starving? Foodinsurance.com has designed emergency packs and kits with at least 2 weeks worth of great tasting food and clean water. Most Foodinsurance.com meals are freeze-dried, which means they'll last and retain nutritional value up to 10 years. Foodinsurance.com meals like lasagna, beef stroganoff, and other tasty entrees are quick, delicious, simple to prepare, and start at just $199.99. The low cost is just one reason to get Foodinsurance.com. Need more reasons? Foodinsurance.com kits come with a lightweight, high-quality backpack and a free utensil tool. Go to Foodinsurance.com or call 1-866-9-GOT-FOOD. That's 1-866-9-GOT-FOOD. Get protected at Foodinsurance.com.
Why are you letting that search engine spy on you?
Spy on me?
Yeah. Don't you know Google, Yahoo, and other search engines record all your searches and store them in a giant database? You should use StartPage instead.
StartPage?
Yeah, StartPage.com. The new name for Ixquick, the world's most private search engine. They don't record your searches or your IP address, and the search results are great. Plus, StartPage is third-party certified, and it's totally free.
I don't want Big Brother watching what I do on the internet. I'm adding StartPage to my browser.
Right. Go to StartPage.com and start searching with privacy.
Hello, folks. This is Alex Jones. There are some habits you need to break if you want to hold on to your privacy. That's why I'm inviting you to take the 1-week StartPage challenge. The next time you're about to look something up on Google, Yahoo, or Bing, go to StartPage.com instead. Try 7 days of StartPage and break the Big Brother habit. Do yourself and your privacy a favor. Try StartPage.com for 7 days and start protecting your privacy. That's StartPage.com.
When making important financial decisions, you should always know the facts. That's why Midas Resources is willing to pay you to read the facts. Midas Resources, a team of hand-picked financial specialists with decades of financial experience who are ready to provide you with state-of-the-art, up-to-date financial services. Midas Resources offers a host of services and stands behind their products. In fact, if you call and order their free Midas report, Midas Resources will pay you. This detailed report will provide you with financial history on the safest and most profitable areas to invest in. If you read the report, Midas Resources will send you a free Walking Liberty Silver $50. So what are you waiting for? Get the facts and call Midas Resources toll free at 888-292-2709. That's 888-292-2709. And remember, if you read the Midas report, you'll receive a free Walking Liberty Silver $50.
If you believe Obama is creating runaway inflation, I'll tell you how to profit from this insanity with a free kit. First, the facts. Obama is spending like a drunken sailor. $700 billion for TARP, $122 billion for AIG, more for Fannie and Freddie. The result? A deficit of over $1.8 trillion and the probability of interest rates going above 18% and inflation above 20%. Now the good news. Scott Smith, the former chief investment analyst at Credit Suisse and editor of Swiss Confidential, an investment newsletter, created a free inflation survival kit. The kit outlines how these circumstances created opportunities to turn $10,000 into as much as $431,000 in 12 to 18 months. If you're thinking about gold, get this free kit now by calling 888-314-8782. That's 888-314-8782. Or go to the website inflationsurvivalkit.com.
Man thinks 'cause he rules
Until about 40 after, Professor Laurence J. Kotlikoff is our guest, professor of economics, Boston University. Got a book coming out with a great title, Jimmy Stewart is Dead. Boy, is he. Jimmy Stewart was a neat guy. Going back to our guest. Okay, so sir, you're tell us what you think should have happened last year instead of the looting and giving more power to the very banks and regulators that swindled us.
Right. We need to set up a system that's simple, transparent, and safe for public use. And this current system is not, and we are spending our way into what could be a huge problem, hyperinflation potentially. I mean, the potential is really quite substantial for things to get out of control. The way to get to safety is you set up a single federal regulatory body, not 115 or 20, which is what we are. We now have about 115. The president has been calling for about another 5 or so. None of these guys could shoot straight to see the problem. And what we just need is to have a system that's set up that can't fail like the current system has. So you set up a federal regulator to disclose, verify, rate, and provide all this information about the securities. And then you transform all the financial corporations into pass-through mutual fund companies so that no bank can actually, under this proposal, which is called limited purpose banking, can actually borrow money to invest in risky securities. What they can do is they can set up mutual funds for us to invest in. We'll buy shares of the mutual funds, and then the mutual funds will invest in things like mortgages or commercial paper from companies or stocks, foreign stocks as well as domestic stocks. We have to realize that a third of our financial system already is really the mutual fund industry. They hold about $12 trillion in assets. So the glass is plenty full with respect to mutual fund companies being able to intermediate between lenders and borrowers and between savers and investors. So the idea is not just to turn banks into mutual funds, pass-through mutual fund companies that are never in a net exposed position where they're never, if you're not borrowing to invest in risky assets, you can never go under because of a decline in the value of your assets. You're just not exposed. So we're talking about zero net exposure of the banking system, but we're also talking about the insurance industry being treated identically as banks because insurance companies, as we've seen, are engaged in the same kind of security transactions that are banks. You can't really tell the difference between a financial instrument and an insurance policy. They're very similar, essentially identical financial instruments. So what we need to do is make the insurance companies run as pass-through mutual fund companies as well. And they would sell mutual funds that would allow us to buy life insurance policies through the mutual funds and even to buy CDS securities through mutual funds. Here's how.
But Professor, let me ask you this then. What is the plan or what looks like the dominant re-regulation that's being set up now? Because from what I've read in the newspapers, I'm not trying to pick on the precious Goldman Sachs here, but even Reuters has pointed out they are the most represented in government and in the regulatory system, with Henry Paulson getting up and admitting that it's not a conflict of interest because the Treasury Department gave him a waiver to be involved with Goldman Sachs while he was giving billions to Goldman Sachs directly and through AIG.
Yeah, no, this is like a revolving door, and this is not arm's length. This is a conflict of interest, and it's also they would call it a confluence of interest. They're trying. This is a fundamentally corrupt. I don't think Paulson himself is fundamentally corrupt. I think he's was a very good public servant. He tried his best. I think he did the wrong thing in the end, or he did some steps, but not the right other steps. He has like $300 million. He doesn't necessarily have to worry about whether Goldman Sachs is going to like him at the margin. So I think we've got to be careful about, ascribing motives to individuals who are in a position of trying to save a country they thought was going down the tubes. But the real thing is, how do we get a system set up so that Wall Street can influence Pennsylvania